I'm your host, Josie Van Dyke, and I am sitting next to the Crumble Cookie King, Sawyer Hemsley, everybody.
What's up?
Welcome to Weekly Trash.
Thanks for having me.
I'm surprised you didn't bring cookies.
I actually was going to, but I was late today, and
It's fine.
I'll send them later.
It's fine. I forgive you. Crumble cookies are like everyone's favorite gift to give. I feel like if someone's having a baby, if someone's having a bad day, if someone hit 1 million followers on Instagram, they
Right.
send them crumble cookies.
Easy gift, huh?
It's the best gift.
Delicious and yummy.
Delicious and yummy. And I have so many questions about Crumble, about your life. I need to dumpster deep dive you,
Let's do
Sawyer.
it. Let's see what's in the trash.
I need to go deep because I have so many questions on how you have built a multi-million-dollar business and other businesses, and also been just living your best life.
Yeah.
So
I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sawyer, where are you from?
I'm from a small town in Idaho.
Idaho.
On the border of Utah.
Okay.
So we basically claim that we're from Idaho, but we should just say we're from Utah.
It's the same thing.
It's called Preston, Idaho.
Preston. Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
And if you've seen Napoleon Dynamite, that's the scenery.
Yes.
More cows than people.
Yeah.
Population 5,000. So small town boy. And it was amazing. I loved it. It's beautiful out there. It's country, and I love to visit. My family's still there.
Do you have a big family, small family?
I have a mid-sized family.
Okay.
Immediate family, I have three siblings. One brother, two sisters.
Okay, where are you in that
Two
lineup?
amazing parents. I'm the second to youngest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you always have like this entrepreneur mindset growing up?
You know, I think I did. My parents, they never went to college.
Okay.
So like they were self-made. My mom ran a dance studio.
Awesome.
And was also a fitness instructor, which we can talk about later because that instilled a lot in me.
Yeah.
And then my dad actually owned a car dealership.
Okay.
And so he mechanicked and sold cars. And so they both ran and operated their own businesses. And I think from seeing that and growing up with that and seeing that they were their own boss, that's something that I think was in the back of my head.
Yeah.
All throughout my grade school years, high school, and into college. And that's maybe why I'm an entrepreneur today.
Yeah. Did your family like always want to stay in Preston? Like, did you always was that like they grew up in Preston?
Yep.
Like Preston runs through their blood?
Yep. That's kind of how it goes in a small town like that.
Yeah.
Like once you live there and grow up there, you don't move.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that I went to school with that just stay.
They're still there.
Or they don't go to college.
Yeah.
So I was the one that got away.
So did you always want that where you're like, I'm not going to stay here?
Absolutely.
You're like,
I
love
visiting.
Preston, but I'm not. This
Yeah,
is it.
it's not. No, I needed more.
Yeah.
And it's a very sheltered community. And so when I grew up, I didn't know a thing about the outside world. That sounds odd.
It's just a
but
big old
it's
bubble.
true. Like
yeah.
I learned a lot from just going to college.
Yeah. Did you serve? Are you a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
Yes.
Did you serve a mission?
I did. I went
You
to
did?
Mexico.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. And was that
I need to
something?
go to church. I haven't been in a while.
Let's,
but
we're all like kind of Mormon, right? Like Mormon adjacent, like somewhere.
hey,
in there.
I love going to church, singing the hymns.
Yeah,
Go with my
there's some
mom
good
when I go
ones.
home.
I know My Redeemer Lives is my favorite. No, but when you're in that small town, was there pressure to go on a mission? Like, did you feel like you had to?
It's just like Utah.
Yeah.
It's the culture. It's like, it's all laid out for you. And so you follow the steps so you can make people happy. And I truly had a good time when I went to Mexico. Like I loved learning about myself, living on my own, meeting new people, learning a new language. And I would do it again, but my thoughts and feelings have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still loved that moment in life.
Before you went on a mission, were you like in any sports or anything in
Yeah.
school?
So I grew up, my mom was very hardcore at making us do everything.
Yeah.
So I grew up playing violin, guitar, piano.
Okay.
She made me sing. And
All the things.
And we had a family band. So
You had a family band?
yeah, so all my siblings played an instrument.
Okay.
Brother was on the banjo, sister was on the mandolin, other little sisters on the little tambourine, and we all played the violin. So at every event in Preston, whether it's a funeral or the fair or whatever it was, we were there playing.
What was
music.
your band name?
Just the Hemsley family.
The Hemsley family. Hey,
There is no
Hemsley is
band
such a good
name.
last name, though. Like, it's so good.
So I grew up doing music, and then obviously it's a small town, so you can know everything.
Yeah.
So I did little league sports, basketball, football, baseball, and that carried into my junior high school years. During high school, I mainly focused on soccer and golf.
Okay.
We're a big golf family over here.
My husband is an addict.
Yeah.
My son is now an addict as well.
I love that. You should go.
No,
Kesley loves to go. Your sister-in-law.
Yeah, I know. But Kesley's good at everything. It's like so annoying. I'm like, okay, of course you love to golf and you love to do everything. We ran a half just barely, and I was like, I will beat Kesley.
See, if you can run a half, you can golf.
No, golf, I can't. I miss the ball every time. I go to Top Golf and I swing and I miss every single time.
We'll get you in some lessons.
No, but golf is
golf was fun. Golf and soccer. And then I grew up also doing a lot of involvement stuff in high school. I was student body president.
Okay.
And did a lot of service and all the fun things that you can imagine in high school because I was trying to get that scholarship.
Okay.
To look like you were involved and ready to go and try to win some money to pay for school.
Yeah.
I didn't have a ton, and my family didn't have a ton. We kind of grew up in a small house, not a lot.
Yeah.
Lived month to month.
So hey, that's relatable for sure. I feel like in high school too, did you feel like I'm doing sports and maybe I'll play sports in college, or were you very much like, no, this is a fun activity?
For fun. If you were to ask anyone, is this guy collegiate athlete level, they would say absolutely not. Like, I was decent. Okay. I mean, I played varsity and whatnot, but
varsity in Preston though, right?
In Preston, that's right. We were a 4A school, but 4A in Idaho
4A is pretty
means
good.
Different, compared to Utah.
Okay.
So anyway,
so you go on your mission, and you knew you wanted to go to college when you got back. Did you know you wanted it to be Utah State?
So it was either BYU or Utah State, and I just shudder at the thought of even going to BYU now. Looking back.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it was Utah State. But Utah State was the perfect choice.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have wanted to go anywhere else, knowing what I know now about my college years. It was amazing. So I did know I was either going to go to those two schools, and I had scholarship money at Utah State because they also have like a mile radius scholarship and give you a lot of just come here.
Sorry to interrupt, but I need to let you know about one of my favorite sponsors, Spearmint Love. Spearmint Love isn't just another baby boutique, it's a trusted name in the baby space. Known for its own Spearmint Love brand and huge selection of high-quality baby essentials and holiday collections, aka Halloween's coming up. But they also have fast shipping from their Arizona headquarters. Spearmint Love delivers the best for your little ones. And like I said before, Halloween is coming up, and the Spearmint Love Halloween shop is to die for. From their aesthetic and high quality organic cotton waffle line to fun designs in super soft viscose made from bamboo line of zip rompers, hoodies, tutus, and two-piece sets, there's a print and style for every little one. Matching prints and coordinating colors for siblings from size newborn to 6 years old. Whether you're dressing a little brother or a big sister, the Halloween collection truly has a style that will keep everybody looking festive. As you know, love a theme. So having to get outfits for all three kids from one store is like heaven sent. There's so many cute and unique options for the baby's first Halloween. So obviously go ham, but it's just nice to have options for not just babies. So I can get something for Bentley, Brooks, and Banks. Slay. Go to their website, ordering coming home outfits from the hospital or a birth announcement photo outfit. Everything is so cute and so soft. The prints are unique, like I said, and photogenic, and the aesthetic is amazing. So head on over to experimentlove.com and use code WEEKLYTRASH at checkout for 25% off your order. That's experimentlove.com, code WEEKLYTRASH for, 25% off. Have fun and go get yourself some Halloween goodies for those kiddos. And thanks, Spearmint Love, for sponsoring today's episode.
And it's close. It's 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes from my house.
Oh, really? It's that close to Preston?
That's how close the border is. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it was close to family and it was easy. So
did you have any friends that went with you? Like, did you have a lot of friends in high school?
I had a lot of acquaintances. Okay. I never had like a best friend.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think I was just so involved in everything, and I had like some sports friends and I had some like musical friends, but like I never like had someone that I would jive with on the weekends. And that, I don't know, I spent a lot of time with my family, and that's why college was so important to me, because I found my best friends in college, and I kind of learned who I was and what I wanted to be and do, and it was just some of the best years of my life.
Were you in a fraternity?
No.
I feel like you would have been a good frat boy. You like golf, so I feel like that would have worked.
No, I was in student government.
Okay.
So it's not like a fraternity, but I ran for more positions after I got home from my mission. I ran for student events vice president, which plans like the Howl. I don't know if you heard of that,
Yeah.
of
Oh,
Utah
I've
State,
been.
homecoming,
Yeah.
all the events, and then just the student involvement office. So that was really fun. And that's where I got really well connected with a lot of students.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I feel like my social skills really grew, and my community and my
Yeah.
circle. Because prior to the student government thing, I was actually a new student orienter. So any
Okay.
freshmen coming in, I was there kind of talking to them,
Yeah.
teaching them the ways of college at Utah State. And I also gained some of my best friends there too. So that's where my social circle grew. I started to network, I started to meet new people.
Yeah.
And I feel like because of those opportunities, it really helped me out starting Crumble.
Yeah. How did Crumble even come to be? Like,
Yeah.
where did the idea come
So
from?
I didn't get enough of student involvement. I took a year off after that student events vice president position. And then I'm like, hey, my last year, I'm going to run for student body president.
Big deal.
Because I was student body president in high school. So I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
It's something that could be cool. So I did it. I went for it. But like taking a year off, people start to forget about you. You have like your graduating class that leaves that kind of knew who you were. And I ended up losing, which was totally fine, but it was a miracle in disguise.
Yeah. Did it hurt at the time? Was it like,
it was more embarrassing. Yeah, it was embarrassing because I'm like, oh, I totally thought I could do this.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily think I was going to win, but I thought I had a good chance.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, you were so involved. You
Yeah.
were like, wait, who better than me?
I'm the people that won probably should have won.
Yeah.
But it was a blessing in disguise because I had to have something to fill that void.
Yeah.
And that's when I started Crumble. So
did you like to bake cookies? Like what? Why cookies?
Yeah, I grew up going back to my roots. Like my mom, we made everything in house.
Okay.
Like in Preston, there's not a ton to go out to eat.
Yeah.
Or to order. Either at the grocery store or like a burger joint or a pizza joint.
Yeah.
So everything was mainly in house besides those special occasions when we got lucky.
Yeah.
And so my mom made breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We were always making cookies on Sundays, all desserts. My Grammy was an expert master baker. And so I just kind of grew up around it. I helped here and there. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, but it was nothing that I thought would ever be a career, ever.
Right.
And so I think that's kind of why I wanted to start Crumble, part of it. And I knew everyone loves cookies. Like it's a nostalgic treat. Everyone has a connection to it. You can think back of a memory with your mom, your sister, or another sibling, your friends, making cookies and eating them. And you probably have a favorite cookie. They're so easy to eat versus like a dense cinnamon roll or like a rich brownie or whatever it is. So cookies were something that I feel like was a staple in a balanced diet for everybody across the country.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the reason why we thought Crumble could be successful. And we also...
Who's we?
So I have a business partner.
Okay.
His name's Jason. He's a little bit older than me. Has 7 kids.
Wow. Is he from Preston?
No.
Okay.
He grew up in Canada, but he married my cousin. So we just say we're cousins.
Okay. Yeah.
It's easier, right?
Yeah, much easier.
But he is amazing. He's currently a bishop, has 7 kids, very family oriented.
Yes.
Great person. Would never ask for another business partner.
Oh, that's good.
Aside from him. We get along so well.
Because that's hard
to
find someone that you're like, we can do this together.
Especially with my strong personality. Like we really balance each other out and we have different skills that really work. So I think that's really what made Crumble successful. But yeah, going back to the cookies thing, I just think it started in Logan and I wanted to fill that void.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, there's nothing up here that is this. And it was at the height of delivery. So like imagine DoorDash starting to promote and people are like, what is this? Like you can get food delivered.
Yeah.
And I remember up on campus, they were passing out DoorDash cards because no one knew what it was. Or they were starting to learn what it was. So that was the era of Crumble starting. And so we really thought, hey, we're going to try to make delicious warm cookies like you would at home, in your apartment and really go after college students. That was kind of the idea because I was still in college, right?
Yeah.
And really utilize that online kind of push. But it really adapted since then because when we opened, we saw that, people liked ordering online, but they liked more coming into the store.
Yeah.
So cookies it just happened,
It was just cookies. And when you got the idea, did you immediately go, oh, Crumble's the name? Like, how did the name come up?
A lot of people ask me this question.
Yeah.
So they say, how did you come up with the name? And I said, automatically, I thought, what happens when you eat a delicious cookie? And when you're eating a cookie, you're getting crumbs on your shirt.
Yeah.
You're getting crumbs on the table. And hopefully it was a delicious cookie that like you try to eat all the crumbs.
Yeah.
And so I kind of played off of that. And it
Okay.
was crumble. Uh, and then I dropped the E because it was a little bit more sexy, a little bit more
Oh,
edgy, a
yeah.
little bit more brandable.
Yeah.
And it stuck. It really worked.
And financially, was it your business partner is that where like the money side came from? Where
Yeah.
you're like, I need to get this off the floor. Like,
Of course. I was in college. Like
yeah,
I
you're a college
was
student.
living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
I worked up on campus and they pay barely anything.
Yeah, it's like
you know?
$10 an hour.
And a lot of people ask me this question too, and they say, "Oh, he started Crumble only because of his parents' money or because of this or that." And I'm like, if only you knew.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
like my parents didn't give me any money for this. Jason came in and he said, "Hey, I will foot the bill
Yeah.
if you operate it and run it day to day." That was kind of like our first agreement.
Yeah.
And I think we just put in like we started out at like 10,000.
Okay.
And he put in 10,000 and then it worked its way up to 50K, which actually is really quite low to
I was
start a
gonna say,
business.
like, I was like 10,000,
Yeah.
really? Because how much? Because you had that space. Do you still have that same
No.
spot?
So we didn't know if it was gonna work.
Okay, so
right?
you were just cooking in a kitchen somewhere?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we got an old spot that used to be an old creperie. So they sold
Okay.
crepes, and a lot of people knew about it. It was right by the Logan River, right as you were leaving town, and everyone knew the spot. So I
Yeah.
said, Jason, we have to go here. Like
Yeah.
this is the perfect spot. And prior to that, I would always send him like pictures of spaces for rent.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, let's do this. Let's open this cookie shop. I think this would really do well. And when we landed on this spot, he's like, okay, this is good, but what's the contract?
Yeah.
And the landlord said, $900 month to month. So that was perfect because there was no
Yeah.
contract. We could get out whenever we wanted. If we failed, there was an easy out, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what happened is we actually rented the building before we had a product. And we started buying equipment before we had a product, which you never do.
Okay.
Like that's completely backwards
Yeah.
in business, right? You always have a service or product and then you follow through with the building, storefront, brick and mortar,
Yeah.
and the machinery to be
Yeah.
able to produce the product. And so it was all learning at the first. And I never thought that I would truly go into entrepreneurship. I was set to move to Arizona, work in a marketing agency.
Because what was your degree in?
My degree was in comm studies, communications.
Okay.
With a dual minor in marketing and multimedia. So I was all about advertising, that marketing space, and I
Yeah.
love branding. Like anything branding is my jam. But I did this right after I lost, and I said, let's just do this for a year and see what happens. And I was still in my senior year taking 15 credits when we opened. And I said, hey, I'll run this, but maybe we can find a manager to help us out.
Yeah.
And I thought my mom would help me. But she's like, no, I want to be a grandma.
Yeah.
Nope, I can't do it. Can't be
okay.
away from my grandkids. And later on, she was kicking herself because
She's like, dang.
she's like, oh, I could have been, 30% partner in this?
yeah.
But
Piece of that pie? Piece of that cookie?
But later on, long story short, they became our first franchise partners.
Okay.
But that's kind of the first beginning of Crumble. And there's so many details to it, but like, it's crazy how it started and how we never thought we would do cookies long term.
Yeah.
Or that we'd have 1,000+ stores or be a national brand or even an international brand now that we're in Canada and soon to go into Europe. But it's crazy. It's so crazy. Never say never.
So the cookie itself, the classic chocolate chip cookie, is it the same recipe that it was when you started, or has it
The
evolved?
classic chocolate chip is the exact same.
Okay.
We've had a few recipes since then evolve due to just learnings of like efficiencies and hold times in the kitchen and geographical areas. Because in baking, everything
Yeah.
it
How do
bakes
you get a
differently
fluffy
everywhere,
cookie? Yeah.
right? Like if you're in Alaska versus Virginia versus Hawaii, you got to find consistency, and
So
sometimes
do
you
all
have to alter.
locations have like a little bit of a different recipe
No.
then because of that?
No, so we've modified enough to be able to have consistency in the recipe across the nation by doing the exact same process.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's
very
been a learning
cool.
curve though.
That's
for
like
sure.
science right there.
Yeah.
Like get the science guys around.
And
so they
it's
can
kind of
help
cool
ya.
to know that like we came from not knowing a ton about food science
Yeah.
to mastering the cookie. And it took a
Yeah.
long time to get there. It's pretty basic knowledge. People think that I've heard this before online that I feel like I created the cookie. Absolutely, that's not the truth.
Yeah.
I did not create the cookie, but I put my own spin on the cookie.
Yeah.
Right. And we had a lot of fun with our development and adding in new flavors. But I actually wanted to learn more about food science, and I put myself through culinary school.
Of
after
course you did,
college.
Sawyer. You are the overachiever
No, I
of the
promise.
world. You
No, but I
are.
wanted to be able to speak towards it. Like
Yeah.
a good businessman, or I lead the operations when it comes to menu. I
Yeah.
want to be able to say, I know exactly what this does when it's mixed with this
Yeah.
and why this tastes this certain way. Because it's just that confidence you want as a business owner,
For sure.
because you have customers relying on you. You have franchise partners who own these locations across the nation. You just want to have that confidence and stability to know, hey, we can fix this if something goes wrong.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously other cookie places, especially here in Utah. Like, people are popping out cookies
Yeah.
like they're babies.
It's popular.
We're popping out babies and we're popping out cookies. But yours is obviously huge.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're international now. What do you think what makes Crumble stand apart from all these Utah cookie places? Do you think it's the cookie? Do you think it's your marketing? Do you think it's you? What is it?
I wish it was me. No,
I think it might be a little.
I don't think so. But I do think like it started from the beginning when it comes to our brand decisions.
Yeah.
So our pink box, instantly recognizable. We started out with the color pink, and then we actually worked with Utah State students to develop our elongated box. So there was a case study that was given to students, and multiple groups presented to us
Yeah.
what box would be perform the best. And so a lot of people are like, "Hey, you guys didn't come up with that box. Like that's been done before." But it literally was done by a student group, and we gave them a prize and money when we selected them. And there was actually a reason why the cookies were laid out in the elongated format, because it almost reminds people of like a flower box.
Yeah.
Reading from left to right is better than, the traditional
square,
bakery square box. So I think that's really what made us stand out at the very beginning, is being an Instagrammable brand.
Yeah.
And connecting with what we call our soccer moms, right? Because we were that premium treat after school, no hassle in the kitchen type product that they wanted. The second thing is I think there was an organic following. So as soon as somebody posted that pink box, their friend group saw. And they had a lot of friends in different circles throughout Utah.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh my gosh, what is this? Crumble, pink box. I need to try this. And so organically, like this movement and this energy started to flow throughout the state. And we started to get people to be like, oh my gosh, I want that. Or I want that in my community.
Yeah.
And so we had people reaching out saying, hey, I want to bring Crumble to this town or to this town. And that's how we just started growing. We never thought we would have more than one store ever.
Because what was the first state to have a Crumble other than Utah?
Yeah. So Utah, we had quite a few. And then we first went into Nevada.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it would be Idaho.
Las Vegas.
No. But Las Vegas.
Yep. Las Vegas. And then Idaho came, I think, second or third after Colorado. I have to go back in the history books.
Do you know which one of your stores performs the best?
Yeah. Surprisingly, the North Dakota.
Really?
In the middle of nowhere.
Wait, that's actually crazy.
Yeah, I think it's because there's not a lot.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of noise. There's not a lot of competitors, possibly right now. And so it's just exciting.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people want what the rest of the nation has,
I love that.
But one thing I wanted to add, though, back to your last question, is what made us really stand out. It's the rotating menu.
Yeah.
So it's even
but
more
that's
than
a
cookies.
new thing, though, too.
No.
New. But when you first started in Logan, I remember you just had
That's
chocolate
true.
and sugar cookie.
Yep. It was an adaptation that came after the fact, and it came with our first franchise.
Okay.
So this is a story about my parents opening their first franchise. And after the first 2 days, we were selling all of our flavors because it kind of evolved. We only sold chocolate chip. Then we added on pink sugar, classic pink sugar.
I remember going into the Logan, and it was like, we have to stop at Crumble before we leave. So because
oh my gosh,
that was the only Crumble.
Yeah.
We had the pink sugar cookie. We had to have it. So we'd order like 6 of them and take them back to Salt Lake.
I love that. And then people were like, give us more flavors. And we started to add more flavors. And then with our first franchise, we ended up selling each flavor every day. And the second day in, my mom just sat down and she started crying. She's like, I can't do this. This is too hard. Because we couldn't keep up with inventory because we were so busy on all those flavors. And so we sat down and we said, well, how do we make this easier? How do we adapt? And so I said, why don't we do our top 2 cookies, which is our classic chocolate chip and pink sugar, and then rotate 4 every week. And that's kind of where that came from.
Okay.
And I think that was so different than anyone else has done, because you don't have a menu changing every week, maybe seasonally or maybe even monthly. But I think that's what really made us stand out, because it was almost like people were anticipating what the next week's cookie flavors were.
Yeah.
Which made it even more Instagrammable and made people talk about the brand even
They do
more.
the cookie test.
Yeah.
They taste the
They
test of the
became
week.
critics. They
Yeah.
became
Yeah.
reviewers, you
Yeah.
know?
Which, how do you handle the negative reviews? Like when
Yeah.
people don't like the cookie?
You know, at the beginning, every negative review, every negative Google rating was like a knife to the heart.
Yeah.
But with time, I started to figure out, like, hey, is there merit in these reviews? Like, do we need to adapt? Do we need to take this in and actually listen to what the customers are saying? And we absolutely did that. And I think that helped me say, maybe what I think is good isn't as good as what our audience is seeing out
Yeah.
there. And so I really took it as constructive feedback, and that helped me not be so down when I saw all that negativity.
Well, yeah, because the bigger you are, the more critics there are. And
Absolutely.
especially with TikTok and Instagram, it's a beautiful thing because it gets Crumble out there and it's
Yeah.
great marketing. But then when you have the negative ones, it's like, oh, ow, okay,
Yeah.
why would you say that? That's rude.
Yeah,
Like,
the DMs are pretty harsh sometimes.
you should
But
do, they used to do that thing on Jimmy Kimmel, or maybe it was Jimmy Fallon, where they would read mean tweets.
oh, I should. I
You
have a
should read
billion of
mean
them.
DMs. That would be funny, actually. You should do that.
Yeah.
But that is hard. Do you feel like you've had people in your life that have helped you stay positive when maybe you're in a negative headspace about things, or do you feel like you're really good at calming yourself down?
I think it has to be myself.
Yeah.
I like to call, a few people, just say, hey, what do you think about this? Do you think this person, do you think this too?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. But I think what I need is I just have to think through it. I never want to respond right when I read it because I'm just fired up.
Yeah.
And then I tell people I just need one night's sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm over it.
That's good.
I just wake up and I feel like a brand new person. I'm just like, okay, it's a new day. We're gonna tackle the world again, and we'll take it with constructive feedback and move forward and grow.
I love that.
So negativity has been really hard, and you always think about it, even though like you're just saying, no, I'm gonna brush it off.
Yeah.
But you just can't think about it too much.
Well, yeah, it's debilitating.
It's a generic answer, but like that's the only thing that's really helped me.
Your family is obviously very involved in Crumble with having franchises. You have a lot of friends that, work with you. How have you been able to navigate being a boss?
Yeah.
And also being like a friend and a family
I've
member?
lost a few friends, honestly.
Yeah.
In the Crumble world. I think it's hard to be a boss and work with family and friends. The first little while, my family was like, wait, what? You're telling us what to do? Like, I'm your mom, I'm your dad.
Yeah.
And it was really weird. But with time, they started to learn to respect that leadership, and we really figured it out. We had separate Crumble text thread versus a family text thread, so we could keep it separate. No Crumble talk at the dinner table, things like that. So we just started setting boundaries. And then when it came to my friends, like you said, a couple of friends opened some stores. It was really hard for them when we made decisions that they weren't happy with.
Yeah.
And I think that they always just kind of had that, I don't know, feeling in their heart that like they didn't feel supported, or they didn't like our decision, and they never let that go. And I think I lost some friends along the way. And I just felt like sometimes they said one thing to me and another thing to other people. And it just made me feel like they weren't a true friend, even though we were in business together.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't need that. I'm going to support you, and I'm sure you're great. But like, to be a true friend, you support me no matter what.
Yeah.
And I support you, but like if you're going to talk bad about someone, that's not friendship.
If you had let's say you make a new friend and they're like, I want to start a franchise, would you be like, yeah, let's do it? Or would you be like, how about you don't do that?
I really say, are you sure? Like it's a lot of work, and you got to be committed and dedicated and passionate. A lot of people on, Instagram friend me, and I'm like, that's awesome. But then a lot of the times it's just to get something. And so I'm just really reserved with having new friends, honestly, because I just feel like sometimes it looks like a facade.
Yeah.
And then they really just want a donation, free cookies. They want to open a store. They're trying to get me on a podcast for somebody else, which never happened with you, but
so weird.
You know what I'm saying? So
No,
like friendship's been kind of hard, especially like I had to sacrifice, my social life to build this thing. I kept a few friends along the way, lost a lot of friends, and then trying to make new friends in your 30s is really hard.
Yeah.
In Utah, You think it'd be easy, but I don't think it's easy.
Well, and I also think the layer of having a successful business behind you and the money that comes with that, there's that feeling of, are people my friend for that, or are they
Yeah.
friend for me?
Or I even have to say, like, do people, like, when I meet someone new, I'm like, do you like crumble? Do you not like crumble?
Yeah.
Like, I never know.
Yeah.
Like, crumble is so unique in the aspect of, like, you either love it or you don't.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just kind of scary, and I don't know. So I used to be an extrovert. I used to go chit chat with everybody, talk to everybody, but after a couple of years of crumble, I'm like, I'm gonna be reserved and kind of avoid.
Yeah. Has that affected your mental health at all? Being kind of like lonely
You
in a
know,
way?
I think it has a little bit, but I've learned to love being alone.
Okay.
Like, it's crazy. I love it. A lot of people will say, "Hey, are you ever gonna get married?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I love my routine. I love being able to go when I want, pick up and spend money where I want,
Yeah.
do whatever I want, you know? It's so freeing. I just feel so independent. And I think the Utah, Idaho culture is just like, this is
Get
what you got to
married.
do.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to do that. Look at all these people struggling with their marriages.
Yeah. No, it's scary.
You know? And I just love it. And I'm like, I can get married later on.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel right now, even though it might be a bad way to think, but I'm happy.
Have you ever been in love?
That's a great question because I don't know if I have.
Oh. Okay.
I
Have
feel
you
like
ever
I've
had
told
like
myself
have you
that
had a
maybe I have.
girlfriend
Yeah.
like a serious girlfriend?
I've had a few that I felt like there was one, like my second or third year of crumble, where I'm like, I remember talking to, Brittany Nearing. Anyway.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna move your mic a little closer.
Oh,
to you. No,
yes.
You can scoot back. I'm just moving it a little bit.
So I remember walking into her and I'm like, I think I'm gonna maybe marry this chick.
How old were you at this point?
No, I was like maybe 29.
Okay, so it wasn't like
I
too
don't know.
long ago.
Yeah,
But, okay.
it was a couple years ago. I don't even
Okay.
know. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make it a crumble themed like proposal. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
have the food
gosh.
truck out there and music. Like, this was me just being like, yeah, let's go for it. Cause I don't know, I was driving with this girl, and
I love that you say jiving. It's my new favorite word. We were all jiving,
yeah.
okay?
And anyway, it ended up like I went on a cruise. We broke up a
Oh
couple weeks
wow.
later.
Did you already had bought a ring?
No. It wasn't that far.
Okay.
It was more like,
Okay.
hey, I like this chick. I feel like we connect. We're compatible.
Let's start branding the proposal.
I'm attracted to her. Because that's my thing. Like, this might sound really selfish, but like, if I don't have like 98% attraction to somebody, I'm out.
Well, I feel like that's
And
kind of a valid thing.
they're gonna get older one day, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotta feel drawn to this person.
Okay. What are you attracted to? Blonde, blue-eyed, brown hair?
Just like natural beauty.
Okay.
Someone that doesn't try too hard.
Okay.
And then obviously the personality and passion for, going out and doing their own thing, being driven.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, didn't end up working out, but I thought that maybe I was in love, but then I asked myself, because I knew you were going to ask me this question. I said, maybe I don't know what love really feels like.
Really?
With somebody.
Yeah. Because you said you're 32, right?
I'm 32.
So
but I've never said I love you.
You've never told anybody I love you.
Besides, like, people I care about, friends and family.
Yeah.
But no,
But
I've never
girl.
been in a relationship where I've said I love you, because I've always been very careful.
Are you a serial dater? Do you just like to go on dates?
No, I actually hate dating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, surprise. I just think it's a lot of work, especially in Utah. It's such a game. Like, they're talking to 12 million other people.
Yeah, how do you meet people? Are you on dating apps?
No, I just like DMs. DMs on Instagram.
Do you have a lot of girls slide into your DMs? Do you slide into other DMs?
It's a mix.
Okay, it's a little.
But
mix.
I think it's more. I'm getting more DMs than I am sending.
Okay.
Because I'm not really trying.
Yeah, because you're not trying to get married.
No. I kind of told myself, like, if it comes, it comes. I'm happy.
So the things you want in a partner is natural beauty.
Yeah.
98% attractive. Got to be 98%. Have to have like a driven personality.
Yeah.
Age-wise, do you like them on the younger side?
I think so.
Yeah.
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 Younger. I want them to like go and live their life. Like, I want them to have success, like if they want to open a business or do whatever that type of thing. I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's more than just staying at home, taking care of the kids, or just being a housewife.
Yeah.
Like I think we both should chase our passions and our dreams and support each other. And
so you wouldn't get a feeling of like insecure if a woman outdid you.
No.
You would.
I thought I would, but I
Yeah.
think that's cool because then I have my thing, she has
Yeah.
her thing, and I think that's totally cool.
So right now you're single.
Yeah.
You're single and you're kind of mingling.
Yeah.
Here and there
Kinda,
a little
yeah.
bit. But you also like travel so much and you do all these fun things. Are you just doing that alone and that's like fine for you?
So I think in 2023 is when I finally said I need to focus on me.
Yeah.
Because I was so like crumble oriented, and someone even told me like, "Hey, your style sucks. You need to change it." I was like when the skinny jeans was like transitioning out, and I'm like, "Oh shiz."
Okay.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So I think I started to be like, "Hey," because I feel like I was taking care of myself, but I wasn't really like, "Hey, where am I?" I had to self evaluate.
Yeah.
In last year, and I'm like, "Hey, I need to kind of like start doing things for myself." I feel like Crumble's in a good spot. I need to focus on like my appearance, who I'm connecting with, making new friends, traveling the world, doing things while I can, because I'm all about living life in the moment versus waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting for Crumble to get like perfect, or waiting for that next milestone or whatever. And then I wanted to travel with friends, but they were all busy. They're all doing their own thing. So I'm like, "Hey, bye." So I finally went on my first solo trip 2 weeks ago. And I was nervous. I was anxious because that's kind of scary. I'm like, can I entertain myself? I know I can at home, but like somewhere else, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I would do it 10,000 times over. It was the perfect
Really?
trip. I loved it. I was on my own timeline, my own schedule, and it was just perfect. I can't wait to do it again.
What did you do? Did you just like wake up, go work out?
Yeah.
Like,
I went to Maine, so it's beautiful
I've
in
never
itself.
been.
I've always wanted to go. Have you ever seen the movie Dan in Real Life?
yeah.
It takes place, I think, in Rhode Island, but they're
Okay.
similar sceneries.
Okay.
And so I've always wanted to go to that part of the country. And so I booked it the day before. Like I didn't even plan it.
Oh my gosh.
And
Well, because
then
you did an Instagram bubble. You're like, where's your favorite place to go on a weekend getaway? So were you just like looking to see what people would say and then you were going to book the flight? Or
Well, I was curious,
Okay.
but I kind of already knew where I kind of
Okay.
wanted to go. So I have a really rad admin at Crumble that helps me. So she helped book me a few things, and from there I just went. And it was amazing. It was so freeing. So you should do it. I know you have
A
kids and
solo
stuff.
trip. Oh my goodness. Honestly, a solo trip as a mom would actually be incredible because I would just sleep the whole time. Like I
Yeah.
don't need to like go anywhere. I'll just go to a hotel room. Like
Yeah.
a Motel 8. We'll just spray some Lysol and we'll just fall asleep. Like that's the thing. But like with your success, obviously comes the money and like a bougie lifestyle. Growing up, you didn't have that bougie lifestyle, but did you aspire to have that? Like, did you
Yes.
like nice things?
Absolutely. I didn't have anything until after college, of course.
Yeah.
But I remember a couple of things I really wanted in high school. I
Yeah.
said, I want to own a Land Rover or a Range Rover.
Absolutely.
That was a goal I had.
That's like everyone's
It's
goal in high
everyone's,
school too.
right? And
yeah.
randomly, I wanted to own a flower shop just because I
Okay.
love landscape.
Okay,
I love
Lily
the
Bloom.
outdoors. I know, watch out. And I'm actually buying one in my
Okay.
hometown. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone, you guys.
But I love my
the
hometown.
next venture.
It's just a fun one.
Fun one.
And I can't remember the third one. Be successful.
Yeah.
That was the three things I wanted in high school. I'm like, don't care what it takes. I'm gonna make it happen. And so I've ticked off the Land Rover one. I'm ticking off the flower one.
And I think you've ticked off the
And
other one.
I'm trying to take off the successful one. So we'll see how it goes.
No, I think you've absolutely done the successful
But the
one.
money that's come with Crumble has been great. But I didn't start Crumble for the money.
Yeah.
Like I truly started Crumble because I was excited about something. I love to build something. I love to create experiences.
And you're trying to fill that void.
Yeah. And even with my other little startups that I have, it's not that I think it's the next big thing. It's because I'm passionate about these certain things that I've dipped my hand in.
Yeah.
And I want to grow it and I want to have fun.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it is, except for the flower shop and then Hemsley Ranch, is like food related. Like,
yeah.
Do you
Well,
have
it's just
a
because I've
passion?
already known food,
Yeah.
you know, and to build a brand. But yeah, I have other passions for sure.
What, okay, obviously you're starting the flower shop, but other than the flower shop, what's like another passion or goal that you would like to dive into?
Yeah. And just disclaimer, flower shop is just That's not my main gig, okay?
Well,
because my whole goal in Preston, going back to my little town, is to make it a destination.
Yeah.
So I'm tying it to the ranch.
Because you have the Hemsley Ranch.
I have a Hemsley Ranch. We have racehorses, some acreage where we grow, alfalfa, hopefully corn.
Incredible.
I want to have a place like if the world goes to crap, I'm going to Preston.
I'll see you guys later. I'm going to Hemsley Ranch. Bye.
And so like just an extension of the Hemsley Ranch will be the flower shop where I can grow microgreens, greens, have the floral, have like an event center.
Amazing.
Just kind of like that Magnolia vibe, but in Preston.
Yes.
So that's the business idea around the flower shop. It doesn't sound so cheesy.
No, but even if it was just a cute little flower shop, that's adorable that you just want a cute little teeny flower shop because you just love playing with flowers.
I actually love sending flowers to people.
I think
either
that's
cookies
a
or
great
flowers.
Yeah.
That's what I send because it's
cookies
just
and flowers.
People love getting them, right? But take me back to where we were. The question is
what other big venture or idea or something you're passionate about that you'd want to start?
I love fitness.
Okay.
My mom was a fitness instructor, like I said. So we grew up going to the gym. We'd go to the gym before we opened presents on Christmas Day.
Shut up. Wait, that seems a little toxic, Sawyer.
No, it was because we truly loved it.
Okay. You're like, I don't need my presents. I need a 6-pack.
And well, no, I don't know about 6-pack, but we just it felt good. We loved doing it. My mom was such a good example. Like she didn't force us to do it.
Yeah, you just wanted to.
But I really have a great mom. Like she inspired so many things in me, and fitness was one of them. And she would always invite us and we would go on bike rides and walks, and she would never give us soda, but like even when we wanted it, we didn't like it because we want water. Like it was one of those type of households. And so I want to start a luxury gym
in Utah.
Please
do.
And I already have the name and I already know the vibe.
Do you have the name trademarked? Like, can you say it?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I know I want it Western themed. Sounds weird.
No, that's incredible.
But wait, I have awesome ideas for it. And I just think it's so needed, especially in like Utah County.
Oh yeah.
Because there's nothing. They might bring like a Lifetime or something, but I just think no matter how saturated the market is in any business you do, you have to be different, better, and special and put your own twist on it. And I think anyone can do that, and I think I can do that. So luxury gym space has kind of been in my head. Okay. But it's kind of more in the distant future. I don't think it's like anytime soon. I have other ventures that we've talked about. I have a little drive-in called the Polar Bear.
So cute.
And it's just your classic burgers and shakes. It was an old-timer drive-in in Preston in the 1950s that went out, and then I brought it back.
I love
so it's nothing that I created solely by myself. It was something I reimagined and brought back. And I hope to open one in Utah County.
You should.
So I have a little plot of land that I am under contract on, and so you'll see one hopefully next year. So just lots of fun things.
Exciting.
And then I have Crust Club, so I do.
Yeah. Yes, Crust Club.
pies.
You had just taken over Crust Club,
Family
which
dinners.
they're mini pies. Oh my
I was gonna bring you some.
Those are heavenly. The savory one, the chicken pot pie one,
It's
and like the
it's
pork.
classic.
No, I could eat those all day.
Yeah,
They're
so
delicious.
it's been fun. Like I love Crust Club. Crumble actually bought Crust Club first, and then we have just been so busy with Crumble and growing Crumble that we said we have to focus on Crumble.
Yeah.
So I already had this Hemsley Ventures team on the side working on all these other businesses for me, and so I said I'll just take Crust Club under my wing.
Yeah.
And build it out. So we're super excited. If you like chicken pot pie,
guys, you have to try it. It's so good.
it's country. Like I always find things that draw me back to my nostalgic childhood. Yeah. So like the pies, the mashed potatoes, the cream corn, like all of that, just like yes. And there's not a lot of that out there besides what KFC and Cracker Barrel.
And like
love Cracker Barrel, by the way.
Really, I haven't been to Cracker Barrel.
Chicken
in
fried
years.
chicken. I
haven't been there in years.
Kesley knows. I took her there once.
Like we gotta go to Cracker Barrel.
But anyway, so I'm passionate about everything that I do, and I'm excited about Crust Club because we're about to open St. George, and then we'll open one in South Jordan. In the next,
you opened one in Logan, just barely, right?
Open one in Logan, open one in Preston, my little hometown.
I love it.
Which actually does more sales in Preston than it does in Logan.
I love it.
You'd be shocked, but yeah, life is fun. Make it fun, go for it, don't hold back.
When do you feel like it started to make money though? Like, because obviously a business costs a lot of money to make. Yeah, Crumble.
You know, we started seeing the potential like 3 months in. Okay, like my business partner was like, I think I'm gonna leave my job.
Really?
I'm like, wait.
Wow.
Like, I'm supposed to go to Arizona. You have 7 kids.
Yeah.
Like, this is 3 months in. It's fresh. Are you sure? And he's like, I think we can make this work. And so he decided that. I decided to leave my opportunity in Arizona, which my boss was like, "You're crazy." She laughed at me. She's like, "You're gonna go give people cancer," which we know sugar is not like at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
But also, it's it's a dessert concept. So it's all about balance,
It's all about living a happy life.
That's right, and indulging. Where you can and when you can. So anyway, that's a whole story in itself. But in three months in, I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do this and see what happens." And I graduated in May. And on my graduation day, we opened the first franchise. So I remember rushing from Utah State graduation down to Bountiful, Utah, because that's where our first store was, franchise store, and helping my parents open that. And then it was, the rest is history.
Really?
So 3 months in, I would say, is when we knew that the money was going to come. And it didn't come, like, we didn't pay ourselves for like 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
So like I was still floating by.
Yeah.
Until a couple of years ago when we started to say, "Okay, everything's paid off." Because that's the unique thing about Crumble is we bootstrapped it. It's only me and my cousin. There's no outside investors.
Yeah.
And that's so cool for a company to be able to do. Because a lot of people, when they start a business, are trying to find investors.
Yeah.
And so that's something that's just really helped us be able to pay ourselves back, because we don't, and innovate and adapt, and just with the speed that Crumble moves daily and weekly, we're able to make the decisions on a dime and not have to wait for like a board to vote, Oh,
that's nice.
So it's been so incredible. I would never start a brand and try to garner investors. Really? I don't want to deal with them. Sorry, guys.
Would you, and are you ever an investor? Like, would you ever invest?
I would, but I'm very careful because I want to make sure I can have a part in that.
Yeah.
Because I can't have my name on something and know it's not going to be to my standard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you have high standards.
I mean, I hope I do, but like I also don't want to embarrass myself. So like that's why I put everything I can into these businesses and Crumble. And I get embarrassed when things don't go right or if there's mistakes or whatever, but it's part of business. But yeah.
Okay. So what's next? What's next for you? Because you're building a house.
Building a house.
Are you
it's a little controversial and made the news.
Are you gonna like live here forever? Because it's a beautiful big old house. Like what's the plan?
Well, first of all, like it's been years in the making. So I knew like when I was starting to pay myself back from Crumble, I wanted to buy or build or remodel. It's actually a remodel. Looks like a new build, but
yeah, it does look like a new build. You kind of just like ripped everything.
Yeah, we should have just tore it down, honestly. But I knew I wanted to build a house because I love design. I love interiors. I like grew up watching Trading Spaces while you were out.
Trading Spaces.
TLC.
Oh my gosh.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the house and starting new businesses, and one day if I ever, move on from Crumble, maybe I can relax and travel a little bit while these businesses run. My whole goal is to set up a team that can run the businesses for me.
No, that's very
with
smart.
like me coming in on weekly Zooms or whatever and putting ideas or feedback. So yeah, the unknown is out there right now. So just focusing on Crumble, these other businesses, and building the house.
When is the house going to be done?
It's going to be in the home show. So
It
June.
will be.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. Does that freak you out knowing that people are going to be like walking
Absolutely.
through your house? Or it does? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does, because I moved from my first house because I got people driving by all the time.
Really?
Because I've always documented my life.
Yeah.
And there's been highs and lows of that.
Yeah.
And I think because I've shown like my house or like the behind the scenes of Crumble or whatever, that people sometimes get invested. I'm not saying that I'm the most popular person in Utah.
Right.
But like there's a few people out there that kind of go crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I'm going to move. And I moved, and it's more of a private community. So anyway, what were you asking me?
Are you nervous that people are going to be walking through your house
you
just say,
yes.
I'm a little creepy, but yeah, everyone in Utah, come on over, come walk through my house. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. Well, the reason is because I wanted the contractor to do the best job he could.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get done in time. So the deadline was there.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited about it.
Today's episode is brought to you by Anew Therapy. Anew is a mental health clinic in Sandy that specializes in ketamine. Ketamine therapy is a breakthrough treatment for those suffering from severe anxiety, depression, and PTSD, among other things. Treatments are administered in a safe and controlled environment by their team of experienced healthcare professionals. Unlike traditional medications, ketamine works quickly. On average, 80% of new therapy patients have reduced their depression and anxiety scores by half or more by their last treatment. I am proof of that. Most of you know this if you're an avid listener, but I completed 6 sessions of ketamine at Anu in the end of July. I have struggled with depression and anxiety my entire life and have been medicated since I was 13. So ketamine was a huge thing for my mental health journey. But one of my biggest takeaways I took from my sessions at Anu is just how important the setting is. You have to feel calm, relaxed, comfortable, but most importantly, safe. They do such a good job at creating a peaceful, zen, sacred space for you to really get the most out of your ketamine sessions. I don't think ketamine is for everyone, but I do think if you're interested in ketamine, Anu is the best place to do it. So if you're interested or have questions, visit anewtherapyutah.com, anewtherapyutah.com to book your free consultation today. Totally free, no obligation. And if you find that ketamine therapy is right for you, you can use code JOSIE75 to receive $75 off your first treatment. And thanks again, Anu, for sponsoring today's episode and changing my life.
Wow.
So with building a house and you doing all the design work, if you do find a girl, she's just you don't get to put your touch into it. This is...
I mean, she probably can later on, but I don't know. No, but going back to social, I want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I think social media is hard to navigate sometimes.
It's very hard.
I don't know if you remember, like, when COVID started.
The worst days of our lives.
Crumble had, so I think it was like 3 months into COVID, we had a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And it was controversial.
Oh, yeah.
It was called, then people in Utah started calling us COVID cookies. Because we had a Christmas party. We were wearing masks and whatnot, trying to be safe, but it was kind of in that period of where, like,
we didn't know what the rules were, what's going on.
Yeah. So it was, and anyway, it just spearheaded. And I actually, this is where we talk about lows and highs. People were so mean, and it made, like, newspapers. Someone, I was getting, like, really nasty DMs as far as, like, someone said they're going to come to my house and, like, do something to me.
Oh my gosh.
And someone posted my personal cell phone number on Twitter so people could call me about this situation. And so that's when I'm like, okay, wait. Is social media for me? Like, should I be, like, sharing this? Should I be posting about my life as much? And I kind of took a step back and I stopped. And I kind of closed down my account for a minute. I changed my phone number.
Obviously,
and then I was just super cautious with what I was posting. And then, like, it's always inside of me, like, I want to share with people, like, what's going on. Like, I think it's so cool when a founder or just a human just shares their life.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be an influencer, but, like, even with your circle, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you excited about?
What are you wearing?
Yeah. And so, like, I jumped back online and then had another instance where, like, commented on somebody's video that they made about Crumble, and then it was another show of drama. And so I'm like, hey, I'm going to cut back again. So it's just like, can you win? No, you can't.
No.
So you just got to be as cautious as you can, navigate it, and try to stay safe.
Well, it's hard too when everyone knows, like, you are Crumble. Like, even though, well, okay, I guess that's not true because you were walking through New York and people were holding Crumble boxes and they had no idea that you were the owner of Crumble. Yeah. But in Utah, like, people know that, like, you are Crumble King. And so
people in Utah do, but you know what? I kind of have this perception of Utah. Like, I don't truly know if they're as supportive as I would like them to be.
Really?
Yeah. Which is fine. Like, I feel like we've built something so special.
Yeah.
That I feel like Utahns should be like, Crumble started in Utah. Isn't that cool? And I'm not, like, asking them to do this or whatever. I just, if something started in my home state or even my hometown, I'm like, can you believe it?
Yeah.
I love it. And I know we're not perfect. We've made mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's when I go back to, like, do people like me? Do people like Crumble? I don't know. So it's always kind of just like trying to stay careful and cautious.
Well, and we can cut this out what I'm about to ask you, but do you think maybe, and I hope you don't get upset that I'm asking you this because I didn't put this on the questions. So again, we can cut it out.
No, you're good.
But do you think people are like mad because of all of the legal stuff with the other cookie companies being like, well, now you're shutting down these people because they're trying to do cookies. Do you think it's now become like a competitive war where people are like picking the underdogs over the successful one because you're the big dog. You're the one that has all the money, and so now you're the villain.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I don't think we were trying to ever be the villain.
Yeah.
Ever. Like that's where people started to be like, "Oh, they think they invented sprinkles on cookies or the cookie in itself." But like what we were trying to do is protect our IP, protect the way we do business. We weren't saying you can't do cookies.
Yeah.
That wasn't what we were doing. It was saying we want to protect how our experience that we've built over the years is presented to customers and from people stealing that idea. And they were mimicking our box, they were mimicking our rotation, like they were mimicking these certain things that made crumble crumble.
Yeah.
You know? And so we have to stand up for ourselves, and we have to stand up for our franchise partners who own stores across the nation. And that's just what you do is you have to protect your IP, which is way different than people understand. They just think we're just trying to go after the little guy so they can't survive. That's not it. We just said, hey, maybe change your box. Don't do the rotation the same day or as many cookies as we do. Like stand out, be different for yourself, you know?
Don't mimic us.
These are all things that we've learned. And I know that's business. People are going to copy and do things. But looking back, I think it wasn't worth all the hassle. Honestly, I think it was a lesson learned from the crumble side to just focus on ourselves. And if people copy, they copy. Let's just continue to innovate and be better.
Yeah.
And be the best out there that we can.
So going back, you would have just let it slide.
I think
just
so.
Moved on?
I think so. Now, like you look and a lot of those, because we were in a battle between Dirty Dough, and I don't even call it a battle, but that's what people were calling it, right?
It was like the underdog
the battle of the
versus
cookies,
like the big dog,
unfortunately, a lot of their stores have closed down, like in Utah County, I think in the Salt Lake area. I think they have a couple still standing, but I just think because we have worked so hard on our foundation and all the things, trying to be different, better, and special and focusing on those details really helped us survive. And so, yes, I would have not worried about it because the fate of those other companies would have came anyway.
Right.
And so it was a lot of effort, time, money, energy, you know, to do that. And I think it also didn't help the perception here in Utah.
Because that's where I think that negativity comes from. But do you feel like there was already that before that happened?
I think there was a little bit, but I definitely think it started there too.
Because I felt like everyone loved Crumble, everyone was super supportive, but then it was like, wait, Crumble's being a bully.
Yeah.
And that narrative kind of shifted. And that's when I feel like I could sense that hate of like.
And what I learned from this, and even talking about social media before, is like, you can't judge a book by its cover or what situation is happening. Like, because people do that to me all the time.
Yep.
Right. And they do that to Crumble. And sometimes we naturally just do that about other people. But like you actually sit in a room with somebody that you think is just like self-centered or narcissistic or whatever. And you learn that they're not. Like they have a story. They have, you know, their own problems. And I just think people need to not be so quick to judge or check themselves from time to time because it's all natural. We're always going to judge people no matter if we say we're not.
Yeah, no.
We're going to.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I think I learned a lot from all these experiences, and I'm just going to take those into the future.
Well, I hope that people, now that they've heard that side of it, are like, okay, like I get it. And you do feel more supportive because like you are a Utah company. Like that's amazing. And you're
so nice.
You
Thank
freaking
you.
just were with a collab with Kylie Jenner. Can we talk about how do you get these collaborations?
You know what? We've grown so big that they are starting to come to us.
That's amazing.
So Kylie came to us and she said, "Hey, we want you to, you know, partner with us on this new palette, this new cosmetic product that we have." And so we said, "Absolutely. We'd love to." Kylie's like top 5 on Instagram, most followed person.
Oh, the most iconic Kardashian.
Yeah.
Or Jenner.
Yeah. And actually, it was such a sweet deal. Her team was so amazing to work with, quick to respond. She organically posted about crumble cookies prior to the actual connection. Like that, people think that was staged. It absolutely wasn't. She just did a review in her car with her
and her
best friend.
Yeah, I watched it. And then all of a
And
sudden
it
I
was
like, "What?"
not set up at all.
Okay.
And then after that, we're just like, whoa, that was really cool. Like, and she posted it on her feed, which like, if you go look at her feed, it's all just beauty and all this other cool, sleek stuff. And then there's a review and it's crumble. So then we connected from there, and I can't tell you, that changed crumble.
Really?
Like, I went to New York a couple weeks ago, and there was a line wrapped around the block. No promotion, no anything, but and majority of the people were from out of country. So from Europe, Spain, Italy, Ireland, like it was crazy. So our name has been pushed out there, and now we're starting to see a ton of kind of competitors that are mimicking Crumble. Some as far as like using the same logo, pink, the name. We can't control it, obviously, but it's crazy. And now we have Cookie Cartel, is what we call them.
Okay.
Cookie trafficking, because down along the Texas border, we're having droves of people come and buy our cookies, and they're driving them and selling them across the border in Mexico.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Would you guys open one in Mexico?
We're thinking about it now that we see like all of this response. It's been crazy. So like the next step, I guess I should have said when you asked that question, is like international expansion even more.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you get like when you heard about that Kylie wanted? Well, first, did you see the video before she like her team reached out wanting to like collaborate and work with you guys?
Of course we did.
So when you saw the video, were you like kind of geeking out a little bit, or like
because it's a Kardashian, right?
Yeah.
It was just so cool. Like when we first saw her post, like we all came into the office and we're like, "Hey, we've got to repost this. This is so cool." There was some backlash. Some people don't like Kylie or the Kardashians.
Again, you can't make everyone happy.
Oh my
like
gosh,
everyone go
I'm
away.
not buying cookies anymore.
Are you joking?
There's a few.
Oh my gosh, people are insane. They're not okay.
But it was so cool because when we started the collaboration, her sisters and her mom all posted. And they all have a following themselves, you know? So then after Kylie, then we started to get a lot more celebrities that are like, "Hey, it's me. It's my turn." You know?
Wow.
So, and they're pretty cool people. I can't say who they are right now.
So do you have things in the works with others?
We're getting things in the works.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just cool to see.
That's so cool.
What started in Logan, Utah, very small, never supposed to be anything, is now a household name, going throughout the country, going international, and now piquing the interest of celebrities. Crazy town.
Truly insane. You should be so damn proud.
You know, I am. And you never say never. You know, go after your dreams, I say.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be a lot of negativity around, like, why are you doing that? You guys are crazy. That's why they call us the crazy cousins, because no one believed in us. My mom was the only one. Even my family doubted us.
They're like, cookies?
Well, anyone can go buy cookies.
Yeah.
Like at the store.
Yeah.
Or dough. Or just make them at home.
Yeah.
So that's why I say never. And I made a little video about this, but like if you want to start your own business, you have to believe in yourself.
You have to see the vision.
And you have to see it through.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to have that mindset that says, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to work my ass off to make this happen. If you don't, if you're halfway in there, like if you only did weekly trash here and there, you wouldn't be building it like you are. And she's killing it. You're killing it, by the way.
If Sawyer says that, then I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
So yeah, you get it. Like you're starting a business right here.
You gotta.
And you have to put it full throttle, right? And now you have people calling you.
No, it's.
So I should be saying congratulations to you.
Oh, Sawyer, stop! Thank you. No, I'm so impressed. I really am. I was telling Kesley, your bestie, my sister-in-law, just like how crazy it is that this kid from Logan turns this business into this huge, like, generational wealth, like insane successful man that you are. Like that is incredible and intimidating too. Like I told Kesley, I'm like, I'm a little nervous.
Oh,
like,
geez.
What if he hates me?
No.
Like I'm like, oh, I don't know. Oh my gosh, have I ever said anything mean about Crumble? Like I like gotta go back read my tweets.
Even
like,
if you did, it's fine. Like, you know, I don't hold it against anybody. I want to be friends with everybody.
Yeah,
like a lot of people think I'm so self-righteous or whatever. All the mean things. But like I'm really just here for a good time.
No,
not a long time. And I love life. I love people.
Well, I can tell that you love life and people, and it's amazing, and I'm so grateful that you came here.
You're so nice.
Thanks for taking out trash.
Thanks for the invite. I hope it was actually interesting.
No, it was. And before we finish, you have to do Trash Topican. You are gonna pick.
I can't wait.
There's only 2 in there. I need to refill it. I don't know what they are.
Who wrote them?
My assistant. She writes them, and then we both have to answer it, whatever it is.
Okay.
I don't think they're dirty. I think they're pretty like G-rated.
Biggest fear that has actually happened to you.
Oh. Biggest fear.
So I was actually thinking about this the other day.
Really?
I don't know if this counts, but I was actually driving yesterday.
Okay.
Down the freeway, and I'm like, what is my biggest fear? Or what would, because I don't think I'm afraid of dying myself.
Okay.
But what I am afraid of is losing someone that I love.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like, I was thinking about it because I'm like, what if like, catastrophe just like hits America, or all this crap goes down? What is going to be my biggest worry? It's not money. It's not losing a business. It's losing a friend or family member that I love. Has
that happened to you? Have you lost anyone that you
I have. I've lost, my favorite person in the world was my Grammy. She's just the best, But yeah, and then I lost my grandma, which we were just so close, right? Because my parents were working all the time. I was with them. They were my babysitters. But then I'm just like, what if I lost my mom, or like, and that's going to happen one day. Yeah, so I am fearful. Like, that is a fear I have.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answers the question.
No, that's a deep one, because I think that's like everyone's fear. I'm like, I don't want to lose anyone I care about. I want to die first. Like, please, bye. Like, no, I can't.
And my next fear is probably running out of food.
Oh, well, you'll never run out of cookies. You'll always have.
Let's hope so.
Backstop.
Or let's hope we don't. Right?
No, I feel like my biggest fear that has actually come true happened just barely when I ran my half marathon. Sawyer, I pooped myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, that
was my biggest fear of the week. I was like,
that is
because people talk
really,
about that, like half marathon and marathon runners, like some of them wear diapers, like they literally poop themselves.
Yeah.
And I've ran half marathons before, and it's never happened to me, and it was the most humbling, embarrassing moment of my life, just sprinting to a porta potty, and I'm like, kill me. Like, this is terrifying. That for you.
But you know what? I feel like everybody has experienced that in their life, where they're just like,
I hope so.
Am I gonna make it?
Like
I don't know what I ate, but I'm not feeling good.
Like, do I dare try to fart? Like, or I'm a little nervous. Yesterday at Sunday dinner, we were like, me and Seth and Kesley were talking, and I was like, wait, I talk about poop a lot. Like, I need to stop talking about poop so much. Like, that's awkward.
No.
But it was definitely the worst thing ever.
I'm
so that
sorry.
happened to me, and it sucked. But we're here, and
Look
now
at
we're
you.
talking
You're so
cookies with Sawyer.
I love it.
Oh, that's one thing about me. It's really hard to embarrass me, because I embarrass myself. Like, if something happened to me that's embarrassing, I'll just own it, and it's not a big deal.
That's
not a
so
big deal.
cool.
If people think something
That's
about
why people
me,
love you.
love me, or they think I'm crazy. One of the two.
Doesn't matter.
I'm sure people probably are like, Josie, you're too much. But honestly, I'm not for everyone. That's fine.
That's okay.
So it's okay. But yeah, I own up to the fact that I crapped myself.
Okay, well, that was a good what's it called? Trash
Topican.
Trash Topican.
It's a topic in a trash can. I mixed the words Trash Topican. Yeah,
kind of sounds like
the drink.
Yeah.
The Tropicana.
Yeah.
Yep, Trash Topican. At my last party, I had like custom drinks, and one of the drinks was a Trash Topicana, and it was like orange juice and Sprite and pineapple.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I'm trying to be like, like Sawyer and
oh my gosh,
brand.
You're such
I don't know. We're trying to be an entrepreneur brander.
You are.
But seriously, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks
this
for
was
the
awesome.
invite. Yeah.
I love having all these successful people sit in that chair. Every time someone leaves, I kind of rub my face against the chair, and I hope I like get some of that good juju, So when you leave, I'll be trying. But thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. You're amazing.
Have the best week, everybody, and don't forget to take out your trash.